The Magic of Christmas, A Journey Home. In the quaint village of Everbrook, nestled among snow-dusted hills and towering pines, the air was filled with the scent of pine needles and gingerbread. Twinkling lights draped over rooftops, casting a warm glow that danced through the flurries of falling snow. It was Christmas Eve, and the townsfolk bustled about, preparing for the most wonderful night of the year. But not everyone was caught up in the preparations. Ella Thompson, a young woman in her early 20s, sat by the window of her small apartment in the nearby city. A soft blanket curled around her shoulders, yet it did little to warm the aching in her heart. Ella had left Everbrook 3 years ago, chasing her dreams in fashion design, and while her career was taking off, the distance had pulled her further away from the warmth of family and tradition. "This is what I wanted," she whispered to herself, flipping through a sketchbook filled with vibrant designs. Yet each turn of the page was met with a pang of nostalgia for the simpler joys of home, sipping hot cocoa with her grandmother, caroling with friends, and the soothing sight of snowflakes gently falling on the village square. As the clock struck midnight, Ella closed her eyes and took a deep breath, wishing for the magic of Christmas to find her once more. "I wish I could go home," she breathed, feeling the loneliness creep in like the winter chill. Suddenly, a soft chime rang through her room, like the gentle toll of a distant bell. Ella opened her eyes to find a shimmering, golden orb shimmering on her bedside table. It was as if the air had suddenly thickened with possibility. She reached out, her fingers tingling as they brushed against the orb, and in an instant, she felt a rush of cool air envelop her. The next moment, she was standing in the heart of Everbrook, surrounded by a flurry of snow and the delighted laughter of children. The magic of Christmas had transported her home. The town square was alive with festive spirit. The towering spruce tree, adorned with sparkling ornaments and glimmering ribbons, stood proudly in the center, while families gathered around, their breath forming little puffs of vapor in the icy air. Ella's heart raced as she took in the familiar sights and sounds. With surprising urgency, she rushed through the village. She passed the bakery, where the warm aroma of baked goods wafted through the air, and the cozy bookshop, where lanterns flickered like fireflies. But most importantly, she was drawn toward her grandmother's little cottage, a welcoming haven, draped in wreaths and garlands. As she approached the cottage, she felt a rush of memories, baking cookies, decorating the tree, and singing carols. She knocked on the door, her pulse quickening with anticipation. It swung open to reveal her grandmother, a twinkle in her eyes. "Ella. My dear. You're home." Her grandmother wrapped her arms around Ella, enveloping her in warmth and love. The house was filled with laughter, teasing, and the cheerful sounds of Christmas carols echoing from the radio. Ella helped bake treats in the kitchen, rolling out cookies and icing them with care. They shared stories over plates piled high with pie and hot cider, feeling the bond of family rekindle in her heart. As the night deepened, the village gathered for the traditional Christmas Eve celebration. Ella and her grandmother joined hands, stepping into the lively square filled with cheerful faces and holiday cheer. Twinkling lights reflected in the excited eyes of the children as they awaited the arrival of Santa Claus. Suddenly, the heavens opened, and a soft flurry of snow began to fall, covering everything in a blanket of white. As Ella stood there, a little girl approached her, her cheeks rosy from the cold. "Are you a fairy?" the girl asked, eyes wide with wonder. Ella chuckled, kneeling down to meet her gaze. "No, but I believe in the magic of Christmas," she said. The girl nodded thoughtfully, then reached into her pocket, pulling out a snow globe. Inside was a miniature Everbrook, complete with twinkling lights and a tiny snowman. "Will you help me make a wish?" the girl asked, holding it out. They both closed their eyes and whispered their dreams into the enchanting orb, believing in the magic that surrounded them. That night felt like a dream as Ella danced among friends and family, the joy of Christmas wrapping around her like an embrace. As the clock approached midnight once more, she realized that the magic wasn't just about the glimmering lights and gifts, it was the connection, the love, and the memories that weaved the fabric of her life. When dawn broke, Ella knew it was time to return to her city life, but she carried the warmth of Everbrook deep in her heart. With tears of joy streaming down her cheeks, she hugged her grandmother tightly. "I promise to come back. I won't let the magic fade," she vowed. As she returned to her apartment, she clutched the snow globe tightly, a symbol of the night that changed her perspective on life. The beauty of Everbrook was now a part of her forever, reminding her that no matter where life took her, home was a feeling, not just a place. With renewed strength and inspiration, Ella began sketching again, her designs infused with the magic of that Christmas Eve, bright colors, joyful patterns, and the warmth of love. She knew that, no matter where she went, the true magic of Christmas would always lead her home. Hit the subscribe button if you liked my story.